that. Beloved, tonight come to you with our prophetic word, taught can transform you tomorrow. Terra is upsell that, hidden like our treasure in the word of God, taught vein spoken in fight, has the powerful rezukas, opportunities that, and divine favor into your life. The vault is uncertain, economies rise and fall, but the word of God is eternal that. When you read this psalm tonight, you are not just reading what you are reactivating a spiritual law that. You are Relation in the heavens Tatrax Provisioniat. 2025 ist not a year of fair, but of growth that, multiplication and supernatural increase for those of our believer that. The Lord has shown me that I will find the believer vodarus to declare his word with boldness that. You will not share blessings will share you, as it is written that. But goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life that. This is the season where you read the psalm you write and I will position you for financial harvest tomorrow. Get ready, because of fight that. Your hands will not remain empty in 2025. My beloved brothers and sisters, truth is not always easy to fucker that. But is necessary if we want to live free. Today event to address our sensitive matter that has destroyed homes, broken hearts that, and torn apart families infidelity. We live in an age where temptation is where commitment is tested that, and where words carry more weight than we realize. The Bible warns us taught the tongue holds the power of life and death that. And so metimus it is not actions, but the word spoken, tat reveal what is hidden in the heart. There are certain phrases that, certain words, tat vein spoken, bu, amen, unveil the reality of unfaithfulness. These words are not casual, they are indicators that. Zigbust pointing to that betrayal. Many women ignore them, hoping they are just misunderstandings that. But the Spirit of God wants to open your eyes so that you may discern the truth. Just as Jesus said that, you will knof them by their fruits, you can knof amen by his words. Today we will uncover the 6 words that if spoken that reveal deception in the heart of a man. This message is not to condemn, but to protect, to heal, and to guide you into wisdom that. Beloved, fight is the foundation of a very breakthrough. Without fight, the Bible tells us, it is impossible to play as a God that. When we speak of provision, prosperity and abundance, we must understand that these things do not come by human striving alone that. The world may tell you to work harder, to push longer, to depend on the strength of your own arm that. But the word of God tells us something different. Fight is the kaitad unlocks provision. Fight is the currency of heaven that. And when you hold on to it, no dot of supplicant remain shoot against you. The psalmist declared, the Lord is my shepherd that he shall not want. This is not just a poetic phrase but a spiritual truth. When David wrote those words that. He was not depending on the economy of Israel, nor was he resting on his father's inheritance that. He had learned top fight in God markers a very lack temporary and every insufficiency subject to change. When you read this psalm that, you are making a declaration that your life will not be governed by fear of short-term but by confidence in God's endless supply. That fight is not a vague wish, it is a strong conviction that it is a decision to believe that what God has spoken is more real than what your circumstances are shooting. In 2025 that many will face financial uncertainty. Companies will rise and fall, markets will shift that. But the man or woman who places their trust in God will remain like our tree planted by streams of water, but bearing fruit in a very season that. That tree is never worried about drought, because its roots are connected to an endless source that. So it is with fight and cause us to the unshakable supply of heaven. When you open your Bible at night and read out the Psalms, that meeting begins to happen in the unseen realm. Angels are dispatched, opportunities are aligned, and favor begins to seek you out. That you may think you are simply reading words, but in truth you are planting seeds of fight that will yield a harvest of provision. That remember cometh by hearing, and hearing by the word of God. The more you declare, "O the Lord is my shepherd, he shall not want." That the more your spirit rises with boldness, the more your mind is renewed to expect provision. That and the more your life begins to align with that declaration. I have seen who had nothing, lift their hands and pray in faith. That and suddenly doors open it they never expected. That I have seen students to ition read the Psalms and find miraculous scholas heaps by morning. That fight transforms the unseen into the seen. Fight brings heaven's abundance into its reality. The key is to believer that, not with shallow leaps, but with our head and correct in trust. Beloved, you must also understand that fight is active. That fight is not sitting idly, waiting for more night to fall from the sky. Fight obeys, fight gives, fight solves, and fight expects our return. That when Peter cast his net at Jesus' comment, it was not the action of throwing the net that brought the miracle. That but the fight to believer that at Jesus' word, fish will gather. In the same way, when you act in fight waiter in giving, investing that, or stepping into opportunities, you activate a provision that is far beyond your calculation. That do not allow the enemy to whisper lack into your spirit. Refus the language of defeat. The psalmist said, "By have been you that, and no more have he not seen the righteous forsaken, nor he said begging bread." That is the promise for you in 2020, that you will not be forsaken. Your soul will not beg. You will not remain in lack. That you will live in the overflow of God's provision if you dare to hold on to fight. So tonight, as you prepare your heart, that take this psalm as your shield, as your declaration, as your covenant with God. Read it with fight. Speak it with boldness. That believe it with conviction. Let it settle into your spirit that the God who fed Israel in the wilderness, that the God who multiplied loaves and fishes, the God who placate coins in the mood of a fish for Peter, that is the same God who will be provider for you. When fight rises, provision flows. When fight speaks, heaven responds. That and when fight anchors you, no focus on earth can stop the money. Opportunities that blessings that God has already ordained to find you in 2025. That beloved, there is a mystery hidden in the word of God that so many of us overlook. The power of speaking scripture. That the is not used our book to be read quickly in the corner of your room. It is our living word, and when it is spoken, that it carries power in both the natural and the spiritual realms. Jesus himself said, "Are the words that he speak unto you, they are a spirit that are a life." A very word you declare from the Psalms carries the same spiritual DNA, really as a life, power that, and transformation into your circumstances. When you declare the Psalm salute, you align yourself with heaven's order. That silent reading fades your mind, but spoken reading activates the atmosphere. When David wrote and let the redeemer of the Lord say so, that he have us revealing our truth. Redemption is no ateit bezielenge, but bu confession. That your voice becomes the trumpet that announces God's broad promises into your life. As you speak the psalm, heaven hears, angels move. That and even your own soul begins to reason in faith. That you cannot confess the word consistently without experiencing a shift in your environment. Think how God created the universe. That he did not simply begin light he spoke, but let there be light and it came forth. That If goes himself used the power of spoken words to sharper creation that. Hofmore musst you and I usse the spoken word to sharper Urfeind von Kial Destiny in 2025. A very time you say, but the Lord is my Schäfer that. I shall not vent, you are a realizing divine authority into the realm of lack. You are a telling the powers of darkness that. My portion is not poverty, my inheritance is abundance. You are a telling your mint, but you will not leave her in fear, but in expectation that. You are a declaring to heaven and earth, but you walk in divine provision that. Many Christians fail to say results not because God has not promised it, but because they keep silent that. They love to speak luder tan fight. They meditate on their bills more tan on the word of God. But beloved that. The psalm you speak tonight will become the kaitat unlocks Tomarov's abundance. When you speak scriptura that, you not only confess trot, but you also zilenkalis. Poverty is ali, hopelessness is ali, fear of the future is ali that. God's word is truth, and when truth is spoken, lees have no authority to remind that. Imagine azultier with our sword boot never driving it in battle. Tatis many believers do with the word of God that. They keep it hidden in their memory, but never release it in warfare. But the Bible calls the word the osword of the Spirit that. Osword is uses unless it is wielded. And the way you wield the sword of scriptura tura is truk your tongue that. When you declare the psalm salute, you are a note simply repeating poetry, you are a fighting battles, shifting atmospheres that. And opening doors that no man can shoot. In 2025 opportunities will not only come to those who work hard that, but to those who speak and fight. Hard work is good, but hard work will fight leads to exhaustion that. Fight-filled words bring supernatural rest and provision. As you declare God's word, money will not run from you that. It will run toward you, favor will not avoid you. It will be attracted to your voice. Contact jobs, promotions that. And divine connections will recognize the sound of a believer declaring scriptura with boldness. Beloved that. Your voice is an instrument of creation. Proverbs says, a dead liefer are in the power of the tongue that. And those of all love it veat its fruit. You can't speak leafy into your finances or you can't speak dead. You can't declare that. You will never have a enuk and say scarcity multiply, or you can't declare. But the Lord so please all my needs that. And vach abundance manifest. The koike is in your confession. Tonight as you speak this psalm that. You are resolving words that will reap harvests of provision throughout the year. Do not underestimate the simpler act of reading aloud that. It may fail ordinary, but in the spirit, it is extraordinary. Your declaration says in the unseen realm, and they do not return void that. Isaiah said, also shall my word be that goes forth from my mouth, it shall not return to me empty that. But it shall accomplish that which he pleasure. When you speak the word, you send it on in a segment. That segment is prosperity that. Favor and divine provision in your life. So take a courage tonight. Lift up your voice, declare the psalm with conviction that. And vachas have a response. The very morning you thought you had to shaza will begin to shaza you that. The opportunities you thought you missed will be restored. The blessings you feared were lost will reappear that. Because when you speak scriptura, you are a not used talking, you are a commenting. You are a shaping, you are a declaring that. And you are a aligning with the God wo promised, or open your mood wieder, and he will fill it. Oh, that. Beloved, you must understand that lack is not simply a financial condition, is a spiritual oppression that. Poverty is not the will of God for his children. From the very beginning, when God created Adam and Eve that. He placed them in a garden of abundance where everything they needed was provided. Ter was no shortager, no debt, no insufficiency, that. It was only after zien enterate the world taught scarcity began to manifest. Boot trug the cross of Jesus Christ that. The curse of lack has been broken, and the believer of carries spirituality over a very form of insufficiency, that. The Bible says in Deuteronomy, it is hevo gives you power to get wealth, and no tika tati durst not say he gives you poverty, that. Or he gives you fairheit, says he gives you power. Power means authority, ability, and divine enablement. When you walk in Christ, that. You are no beggar while waiting for crumbs. You are an heir to the kingdom. Our shield of the king does not wonder if they will be fate that. They knof their fat hairs tablies full in the zame way. When you realize your authority in Christ that. You begin to say that lack has no right to govern your life that. Too many believers have a surrender to poverty as if it were their destiny. They pray but still confess, I don't have a enuk that. I can't make I am alwijs behint. It is of what's been more tightly tarn shines. Below wait that. You must rease up and declare with authority. They will not live in lack. I will not walk in scarcity that. My God supplies all my needs according to his riches in glory. This is not arrogance, it is agreement with the covenant of God that. When Jesus faith the fever tusen with only fever loves and 12 fish that. He demonstrated that he avens authority cancels its limitation. That some power is at work in you today. Understand this that. Lack is our spirit and it seeks to enslave. Each bestat you with a gate ayat, that doors will never open that. That you liefel alwijs remain small. But Jesus seid, the thief comes to steal, kill and destroy, kill. But I have come that you may have a life and have it more abundantly. A abundance is not our luxury that. It is your covenant right as our shield of God. And abundance does not only mean money, it means having more time in a very area that. Perke, your heil relationships and resukas. When you talk spiritual authority over lack, you stop begging, start commenting that. You command opportunities to manifest. You command doors to open. You command resukas to come into alignment that. Jesus told his disciples, whatever you bin on earth will be bound in heaven that. And whatever you lose on earth will be lost in heaven. Beloved that. You have the authority to bind the spirit of poverty and to lose the blessing of provision. Do not zit passively vila lack dictatus your liefe Krise up exercises the authority given to you by Christ. In 2025 that. The world may tremble at financial crisis, but you will stand firm. Vile otters panic, you will declare, the Lord is my provider, that. A vile otters crew out in fear, you will rejoice in fight. Because you have in tats economy is never bankrupt, that. The cattle on our twos and hills belong to God, and he has not forgotten his children, that. Let me remind you of the story of Widowf in Vikingswoche, nothing but a yard of oil. The creditors were kommentake her zoons, that. And in the natural situation was hopeless. But when she obeyed the prophet's word and poured out what little she had, that. The oil multiplied until a very vessel was filled and her debt was paid. What was the zekerth that? She shifted from our mincet to lack to our mincem authority. She acted on fight. Heaven realized provision that. Tat zame God is ready to multiply you oil if you will dare to stand in authority. Beloved, this year do not both to lack that. Rebuke eat in the name of Jesus. Declare it your home is our house abundance. Declare that your children will never beg for bread, that. Declare it your hands will never remain empty. Poverty is are defeated for, and you are a more than a conqueror through Christ, that. When you reason in spiritual authority, money will not just visit you, will find you, follow you, that. and remain with you for kingdom purpose that. Below I declare to you by the Spirit of Gott 2025 is no a year of drought or emptiness for the children of the kingdom. That is year of overflow. It is a year where the zates you have a zovnin fight, the price you have a visperate at midnight that. And the teas you have a she in zekat will come togated produk a harvest so abundant tat you will knof. It is the hand of God that. Do not let the noise of the world take over you. They will speak of recessions, they will announce financial collapses that. And they will predict a zone of lack. But the word of God tells taught, vain the world zeis terror is our casting down that. The righteous will declare our terror is our lifting up. In 2025 terror is our lifting up for the word trust in the Lord that. The overflow we speak of is not only financial, tukid zuli includes pros provision and increase that. It is also the overflow of peakatat surpasses understanding, yot cannot be shaken, wisdom for decisions that, and opportunities tat pluck you in rooms you never imagined entering that. The God we serve is not our God of just Enuk, he is the God of Moritani Enuk. When he filled the weed of oil that, it did not stop till a very vessel was overflowing. When Jesus multiplied bread and fish, there were 12 baskets left over that. When the nets of Peter were filled with fish, they began to break under the way of the blessing. This is the goal of overflow that, and this is the God who promises to bless you in 2025. But beloved, overflow is not a kidental that. Overflow comes to those who are positioned in fight. It is not for those who do and speak fair over their future that. It is for the who dare to believe that God's promises are a yes and amen that. The psalm you read tonight is not our ritual, it is our prophetic action that. It is planting yourself in the soil of abundance so that the harvest of overflow can manifest in your life that. You cannot expect overflow while declaring lack. You cannot expect increase while speaking failure that. Your confession must align with your expectation. Say with boldness, my cup runs over in 2025. My life will not lack that. Goodness and mercy shall follow me. And as you declare it, the heavens will respond. Do not limit God in your thinking that. Many of us expect small because they think small, but the God will shape the galaxy is not limited by your bank account that, your employer or the government. He is El Shaddai, the all-sufficient owner. He does not just provide bread, he gives manna from heaven that. He does not just provide water, he brings it out of the rock. He does not just provide money, he plucks coins in the mouth of a fish. In 2025 expect the unusual, the extraordinary and the miraculous. Expect doors that no man could open that. Expect opportunities that you could never have any rate. Expect overflow that shocks even you. And here may beloved that the overflow is not only for you, it is for kingdom purpose. When God blesses you with more time in you that, it is so that you can feed the hungry, support the work, the gospel, build what glorifies his name that, and become a testimony of his goodness. Overflow has our mission to make you a vessel of blessing to others. This is who David could say, oh my cup runneth over. In the cup overflow to vaster, but to touch everything guaranteed. In 2025 that, your blessing will spill over into your family, your community, and the work of God's kingdom. So I shage you tonight that prepare your heart for overflow. Do not live in fear of tomorrow that. Do not listen to the prophets of Dom who declare only lack and failure. Anchor yourself in the word of God that. Declare the psalm with boldness and align your actions with fight. Zof when he tells you to zof. Give when he tells you to give that. Obey when he tells you to obey. And watch as the God of abundance floats your life with overflow. This is your year that. This is your time of Moratanenuk. In 2025 overflow will be your testimony that. And morgen will not just come it, will find you and multiply in your hands for the glory of God. That. Beloved, as we speak of prosperity and kial blessing, we must always remember on a vital truth. Money is as event, not our must that. Too many people in the world today have reversed this order. They have allowed money to dictate their choices, control their emotions, that, and determine a destiny. But the shield of God must never be mastered by money, that. Veiled in the hands of the righteous is our tool for building the kingdom of God, our channel for blessing others, that, and our testimony of God's goodness. When money becomes the master, great enters, predatorcus road and destruction follows that. When money is kept in its rightful place as event, it brings perke freedom and lasting impact. Jesus vet niet dat, och no man kan serve två masters. You cannot serve God and mammon. And no ticket he no say you cannot have a money that. He said you cannot serve money. Money is not evil in itself, but the love of it, the opposition, the was he that. The dependency becomes the root of a val heel. The Lord delights in blessing his children with abundance that. But he does not bless us so that money may of us. He blesses us so that we may of money and also eat for his glory that. When you the psalms over your life and money begins to find you in 2025, you must be careful not to forget this truth that. God will increase your resources, but increase is not for selfish consumption alone that. The overflow is given so that you can lift up others, support his work, and demonstrate the generosity of Christ that. Remember the parable of the rich fool who built bigger bands to hoe out his wealth, saying, we will store up for himself and take as that. He thought very night, his lief of us regret of him, and all he store it meant nothing. Vu, because money had become his master that, and he forgot the proposer of abundance. Beloved, when money is your servant, you are free. You are free to give without fear that, free to bless without hesitation, and free to live without anxiety. You are not controlled by the balance in your account that, because you know the true source is not the bank, but your heavenly Father. When you understand this that, you can in your prosperity without guilt and without bondage that. The money in your hands becomes like the loaves in the hands of Jesus multiplies to feed multitudes and glorify God. In 2025 that many will chasse after as if it were their ever, but those who put God first will they well chasse after time that. The difference will be evident. The world will exhaust Thames house pursuing what slips through their fingers that. While the righteous will walk in rest, with money serving their mission. This is where you must go at your head that. Do not lay greed or creep in us blessings in crease. Keep reminding yourself, I am blessed to be our blessing. A very dollar that. Every opportunity, a very open door is as a vent in the hand of God's shield, never the master of their life that. When money is kept as a vent, it becomes a weapon against the enemy. You confront the gospel, feed the hungry, clutter the poor, that, and break the chains of oppression in the lives of others. You will become a testimony that God is faithful, that he prospers his people not for vanity, but for victory. The devil trembles when believers also money for kingdom purposes that. Because it means the gospel advances, lives are transformed and God is glorified. So, beloved, as money begins to find you this year that. Do not fear it, idolate it, and do not be enslaved by it. Take authority over it. Command it to serve your opposer that, not to it. Also eat wisely, generously, and faithfully. Remember that. The true measure of prosperity is not what you keep but what you release. The psalm you declare tonight will draft provision to you that. But your heart must remain anchored in the truth that God is your master and money is only our tool. As you walk in this revelation that you will not be trapped by great nor decavate by riches. Instead, you will reach as a steward of abundance that trusted by God to handle overflow without being consumed by it. And as you prove faithful that the Lord will continue to enlarge your territory because He knows the weerhand in you will always serve His will that. This is how money becomes your servant, and this is how you remain free.